Hello, I'm Jacqui Arnold and welcome to my home for Christmas. This afternoon I'm going to show you two designs for your Christmas table. Both designs will have candles in them and I've made candle holders and I'm going to show you the technique. One design I'm going to actually arrange and show you, the other one I should bring on as a finished design. So to make your candle holder, the first thing you need are 7 very strong stub wires. And then the next thing to think about is how wide you actually want the base of your candle holder to be. You need to have a think about which candle you're going to use. You may use a very thick sort of church candle, or you may be using something like I'm going to be using for this design, and that's much smaller diameter. So for the smaller diameter, I'm going to take about tape from about 1/3 of the top of my wires. I'm just going to wire them together first of all, just to secure them together, and then I'm going to use gutta percha and bind that all the way down the stem, because this is the handle of the holder and it's something that would be visible, so you do need to make it look very tidy and cover the wires up with this tape. So the next stage is then to open the wires up, and you just do that by bringing them all the way down in a spiral to form, if you like, the spokes of a wheel. And I'm just showing you that. Hopefully you can see that quite well on this table. So you've got that configuration. Now I'm going to show you one I've started earlier, and I've got some paper covered wire, and I've used the paper covered wire around the base just to bind that as a nice firm hold to start with, and then you're going to use the paper covered wire in a technique of over and under, taking it all the way down and turning it as you go till you actually come up with something. I've got a third one here, one I've already done before, to that sort of configuration, and you continue your paper covered wire down sort of about 1/3 of the stem down, so you've got that finished. Then you need to bring these spokes up, all the way up, just turning as you go, keeping them nice and straight, and then you have that as a finished article before you put your candle in. So the candle then goes into that hold, and you just need to continue binding with your paper covered wire until you land up with something like that. And that's the technique for this design. So for my demonstration, I'm going to use this container that I've made. It's cork bark and 3 large pieces put together, glued together to form a trough, and inside I've got a tray with 3 large blocks of oasis, and I've chamfered the edges off all the way around the oasis to give a greater area to work on. You can see I've already put my candles in. These have used very large ones this time, and you know, they work quite well, and I've given them some space as well between the oasis so that you can really see them. You can see I've already made a little start with some foliage. I've got some blue spruce and I've got some Virginia leaves. So I'm going to continue with the blue spruce. Positively my favourite foliage this time of the year. When you smell and cut the edge, it's just divine, and it really makes me feel like Christmas is here. So we're all looking forward, aren't we, to our Christmas this year particularly. So let's put these in and just show you the finished effect. Taking it right through, and of course it's got that rather beautiful glaucous grey colour, the foliage, so it does look rather lovely, the spruce in there. And my begonias actually give it a good contrast. So I've managed to pick some that have got red edges, and I've given them a tiny hint of glitter, so I'm popping those into just to create a different texture, a nice shiny texture, which really contrasts so well with the glaucous grey matte texture of the spruce. So my next foliage is this beautiful berried ivy, which is just growing on the hedges and I've given it a tiny amount of glitter. As you can see, this is a copper glitter, just a hint, because it's that time of the year when we can, can't we? Just a little bit of sparkle makes us all feel wonderful. Just turning that round to show you. And while it's round that way, I'm going to add some skimmia, beautiful red berried skimmia. What you've got to remember, of course, when you're doing a design for the table, it's got to be visually good both sides, because there will be people both sides sitting at this table. So just bear that in mind when you're doing the design. Let's just turn that round to show you the foliages so far. Now I'm going to add one more foliage, which is a little hebe, beautiful, pretty limey green hebe going in as well. And this also creates a really strong contrast with the foliages I've used so far. It's a rather fluffy sort of texture, rather compared to, say, a shiny texture of those Virginia leaves. And now I'm going to add some of the beautiful pine cones that I've managed to wire together in threes. And because it's Christmas, we're allowed to add a few sparkly bits. So all my glittery bits are now in, as you can see. And now for some flowers. And I'm going to start with these beautiful orange crush roses. And as you can see, I have glittered them. Just a little tiny bit of glitter added on with a tiny amount of spray. And now for some more roses, and this is the beautiful Naomi, red Naomi rose. I haven't glittered these ones, I've just kept them as a good contrast to the glittered orange ones. And then finally I'm going to add some beautiful amaryllis. This is a fabulous two-tone one, the slight reddy edge. Some carnations or dianthus, orange ones, and then some leucadendron. So let's just turn that now to show you that everything is in, all the flowers, all the glittery bits, and the only bit that remains is just some of the few lichen twigs that I have here, which I'm just going to put in for you. So this is my finished design for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the colours and all the flowers I've used. I'm going to bring on another design shortly, which has a contrast in style. It's more contemporary, but again it uses candles. So thank you very much for inviting me to do this video for you. I've had a great time and I hope you have too. I'd like to just wish you all a very happy Christmas and a healthy 2021. And please everyone, stay safe. Thank you.